with Tava, no place is too far. Come with me with Tava, no place is too far to go. We can take you around the world. Catch this flight with me with Tava, no place is too far to go. New places, new faces, yeah, new zip codes. New money, NFTs and plus crypto. Don't need care cash no more.
Good morning, Tavanation. Hello. This is Dr. Nicole Bramwell out of sunny Florida. Good morning. So come with me. Let's get on our Tava Saturday morning huddle training. All right. I see you coming on. All right. You all are going to have to give me some grace because I am the engineer and I am the host, but I have a special guest for you who just got promoted to being my co-host today. So she just heard this about, 10, 15 minutes ago. So, give us some hearts, give us some love. Let us know that you are out there. Come on, share with your teams, share with your guests, with people that you want to share Tava with. Come on, get them on the training. They can hear this because they are going to ask you these questions. So we're going to do some stuff here. I don't know what Mr. Lloyd is going to say when we finish today, but they put me in control. So here I am. All right. So welcome. Let's see who we have. Shambrika, welcome. Felicia out of Florida. Rainy, Lavonda, Valerie, the behind the scenes guru is Valerie. Mr. Gilbert, good morning, sir. Deidre. All right, let me know where you are because I don't know where all of you are. Hey, Tammy Clark, what's up? You are everywhere. Tammy Clark is everywhere. She is on everything. Hey, Van. Hey, Adisa. Good morning. Come on. Let's get some more people on here. Herman, you've been called out. Gino, you've been called out. Van from DC, hello. Good to have you. We are going to share some great training today. So you always want to know about the product. You think you have to know all the details and you really don't, right? So, but we are going to share some with you and share some business tips because you all think that the doctors only know about the products. And the three of us that are in Tava, three docs that I know of, right off the bat, medical doctors, Dr. Cheryl Tolliver out of Valdosta, Georgia, and Dr. Grace Patterson out of Detroit, Michigan. We do the business. So we've listened to training. We're doing what we've been coached to do, what we've been taught to do. And we work on our consistency. We're not perfect, but we work on our consistency. Mandy, welcome to training. Mr. Clifford, welcome out of New Jersey. Welcome. All right. So let's get started. So this is Saturday morning training for Tava, and we are all about the products, right? Tava Fit and Tava Travel Worldwide, but we're going to talk about the products today. And so let's see, Brina Ford, hello, Lisa Dover. All right, Rashina. All right, so we're going to do that. And one of the ways we did this last week on training with Krishawn Peace, and she so much wanted to be here, but she really had to do something really, really important at the last minute. So it's okay though. We got you covered. On it. Melissa, hello. So Doc, we have a very huge testimonial. And this is actually from one of our doctors. So, guess what? Doctors have those health issues too. And she had a really, really big one. And I can't tell her story, but I am going to bring her up so that she can tell her story. So, she is a director in Tava. She is amazing. And actually, I had the pleasure of training her to become a pediatrician many moons ago. Okay. We've known each other for a long time. And now she is my business partner and a great part of Tava. So I am going to bring up Dr. Cheryl Tolliver. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, how's everybody doing? Dr. Bramwell asked me to share my story. And so I said, sure, because I always say sure whenever she asks me to do anything. Um, as she stated, she was one of my attendings, which means that she was a doctor who was teaching young doctors. And by young, we don't mean chronologically, we mean doctors who are new in the field. So I want you to imagine, if you will, I was a 41-year-old woman, a mother of four, on my pediatric intensive care unit rotation. That's PICU. For those of you who don't know, I was in the PICU, and I was on the floor in the fetal position, writhing in pain, when one of my co-residents, um, so I had graduated from medical school, so I was actually a doctor. Um, and one of my co-residents came in and found me like that, just in really horrible abdominal pain. So she called our attending, our PICU attending, and he called EMS. And they came and they picked me up and they put me on a gurney and took me through the children's hospital, down the block to the adult hospital, to the adult emergency room. And at that time, I got the $1 million workup because I was one of their doctors. They wanted to make sure that I was okay. They did radiological evaluation, they did blood tests, and after a few hours, they didn't find anything. Okay. And I felt better. I was mortified because the big production that had taken place, I received no medicine. I was better. So the thought was, I just had gas. Um, and I was mortified. End of story. Right, wrong. So began a 20-year history of intermittent abdominal pain, accompanied by several other gastrointestinal discomfort, we'll say. I mean, the really bad abdominal pain was one thing. I did eventually get a diagnosis. I actually saw several GI doctors, gastroenterologists. Um, I had additional studies performed. And the diagnosis that I ended up with was um, idiopathic gastroparesis. Now, for those of you who are not in the medical field, that just means my stomach empties slowly. When you look at the GI system, it's one long tube. Starts at your mouth, goes down your esophagus into your stomach, then to your small intestines, then your large intestines, and out through your rectum. I can say rectum, I'm a doctor. Along the way, what the GI system does is it takes in whatever nutrition you have. It is absorbed through the gut so that your body has the energy that it needs to function. While it's in the intestine, it basically takes the water out and it releases the solid waste. Anywhere along that long tube, and it's just a tube, I want you to think of it like that, there's waving motion like this, and it's supposed to move smoothly. If there's a kink in the wave, it messes up everything. That's the bottom line. So my kink was in my stomach because it did not empty properly. I had all kinds of discomfort in other places. Among those, I had really, really severe reflux, meaning when my stomach got too full, that acid that's in the stomach would come back up into my chest. So I'd have heartburn. I have asthma, so it would exacerbate my asthma. I tried to lay down at night. I couldn't sleep because of the pain that was going up. So basically, I've had many years of intermittent discomfort. The last, just before I got introduced to Tava, I received a full cardiac workup because by this time, I'm a 60-year-old Black woman at high risk for heart disease, and heart disease presents differently for us. It's not like what you typically see. So if you have a woman who fits my demographic, I'm going to get the full cardiac workup just to make sure that it's not my heart. And I got that. I mean, I had the stress test, I had the echocardiogram, I had everything. At the end of that, my cardiologist said, you need to go back to your GI doctor. So there I was on the strongest dose of the strongest medicine for reflux, still having occasional intermittent abdominal pain. I was put on a really strict diet, not the diet you would think. This diet said no raw vegetables, no raw fruits. Why? Because they're very high in fiber. And I'm sure all of you have heard Dr. Bramwell tell us that we don't get enough fiber. And there I am in a position where I can't eat fiber. So what happens? I gain weight because I can't eat any good food, any healthy food for me. I still have the same medical problems. I'm on the highest doses of medication that's out there. And basically, I was told if this didn't work, I was going to have surgery. And Dr. Bramwell, who was one of my attendings in residency, contacted me and said, let me introduce you to these products. And I said, I'll try it. I'm not going to sell anything. I'm not interested in any new business. And those of you who don't know, I am a board certified pediatrician. I have my own private practice. I wasn't interested in selling anything. I was interested in relief. And you know what happened? I was on Tava products for 1 week and decided I was going to sell them. At this point in my life, as in today, I take 1/2 of the lower dose of the reflux medicine, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And that's if I really overeat something that I shouldn't eat. And I do know what those foods are, like raw onions. I just really can't tolerate that. But you know, sometimes it happens. But I can eat salads now. Before I couldn't eat salads. I can eat fresh fruit, and I love fresh fruit. And I'm like a new person. So that's my testimony. The actual detox tea got my gut moving. And I take the vitamin, I take the flare, I feel good, I can sleep at night, I exercise 6 or 7 days a week.
Yes.
And I am without pain. I think my testimony is amazing because it has changed the quality of my life. And I'm going to say one more thing. We're going to get to this. We'll talk more about it. I have children who come into my practice. I had one just the other day who had so much belly pain, and her mom said that she had used the medicines we had prescribed. I said, I'm going to give you something that's going to work. I'm not going to charge you for it. You can go to my website if you want to buy some more, but I'm going to give you something that's going to make your baby feel better today. And she tearfully thanked me. So that's why I
Awesome.
am Tava strong.
Awesome, awesome. And show off your cup because your cup is matching my shirt. All right. So we did not plan that. Like I said, she just found out she was going to be co-host like a few minutes ago. So, but this is a phenomenal story, and I wanted her to tell it from start to finish because you are running up on people that are having these issues. I saw that Misha Green put in here that her mother has digestive issues. Other people, I mean, I have clients come to me all the time. I do weight management, been doing weight management. Dr. Cheryl is a pediatrician. Let me tell you, the stomach issues that come into a pediatrician's office are off the charts. Multiply anybody that you know with stomach issues by about 100, you know, every month, and that's how many pediatric patients have stomach issues from all at all ages. Now, what I do want to say, and she did say it, we make no claims of diagnosis, cure, or treatment. That is her testimonial, as we have heard many other testimonials. And what I want to point out too is that yes, she, as the child doctor, told the mom to use the detox tea. So if you have a younger child,
Talk to your
I'm
doctor.
saying like probably prior to like age 9, that you need to talk to your doctor, or their
Absolutely.
doctor about using it. And definitely Dr. Cheryl can be a resource. And you know what, I just realized I don't have my wedding ring on, and I was going to talk about my 23rd anniversary is tomorrow. I can't believe I didn't put my ring on, but anyway. Right. But I'm an old married person now, so it happens. So, um, but this is a phenomenal story. So let's kind of break this down, why this works. And so you all have heard me. Yes, it has 4 very simple ingredients. Da 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 da. But they have incredible impact. And then we'll talk about a couple of the other products too. Why that comes together, why they're a system, why it's important to use the system, why it's important to use the system at least for 30 days. She was feeling better in a few days, but don't you think it's ridiculous if she stopped using the products? Don't you think that that would be really, really ridiculous? But we all do that. We start feeling better and then we stop doing the thing that helped us feel better. I'll say that again. We all do what makes us feel better, and then we stop doing the things that make us feel better. And 90 days is not okay, you stop using it. 30 days is not you stop using it. 30 to 90 days, you're like, wow, I'm even better than when I was better a week in. So I need to keep doing this. That's the consistency of taking the products. That's how and we'll talk about our hair in a minute because it's out of control. It's just out of control, just growing past her butt and everything. So that's crazy. But let's break down the products and talk about like the senna and the chamomile and the papaya and the fiber. So you went into the fiber. Tell why the senna is so important, and maybe also why our senna in our detox is different from when folks get like a prescription for senna or take something off the shelf. Those big, huge, they're like this big. Those senna capsules.
So let me just say that Senna is actually one of the first line therapies for gut motility. Meaning, remember I was talking about the peristalsis and having things moving. It actually gets the gut moving. Um, ours, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not sure of why ours is different from the other center, but I can tell you this. Um, the papaya and the chamomile are anti-inflammatory, and they decrease the harshness of the center. So ours is actually much more gentle. As and it, but it's because of the whole package, the magic mixture that we have
Yes.
in there. I mean,
Yes.
while senna is the active ingredient, we have those anti-inflammatories that are thrown in, and it just makes all the difference in the world in terms of making this tolerable. One of the things that I do tell people is if it's your first time using it, um, you may have a rather forceful reaction.
Exactly.
But once you get cleaned out, because some people have, excuse me, I'm a pediatrician, I'm going to say this, they have poop that has been stored in their gut for days or weeks or months. Okay. And so the fiber's going to go through like a scrub brush and kind of get that out. Um, and then you're going to have the calming effect from the anti-inflammatories, and you're going to have that motion that just kind of gets it going. But if there's a lot there to clean out, you're going to feel it. And so, but once your system is clean, and as a part of the Tava lifestyle, we are improving our health and we're drinking plenty of water, you are going to see a difference. And it's as Dr. Bramwell says, I would much rather detox 2 or 3 times a week, and that's my cycle. That's not the same for everybody. Everybody does it different. Their body lets them know. I would much rather detox 2 or 3 times a week than have to take the highest doses of a stronger medicine twice a day, every
Yeah.
day, and still have a limited diet that doesn't work. I don't know if I
At-
answered your question or not.
right. Like Tammy Clark would say, come through, Dr. Cheryl, come through, because that is the thing. What would you rather do? Would you rather stay consistent on something that works, but you can't overwhelm who you're approaching? You must, as Dr. Cheryl did, she addressed the issue. She didn't talk to the mom about the vitamin. She didn't talk to the mom about the flare. She didn't talk to the mom about the coffee. She paid attention to what that mom came in. The mom's concern was her little child going to the bathroom, being able to go to the bathroom. And that's how you sample people. That's what Dr. Cheryl did. What did she say? She said, I'm going to give this to you at no cost. That's a sample. Now you can do a paid sample, like when they do a bigger pack or something, if they're doing 5 for 25 or something like that. So don't get me wrong. But she gave one and she said, try this. You best believe that mom's going to be back. When, because I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when she uses it with her child and it helps the child. And I think Dr. Cheryl told me that it did. Then she's going to
Absolutely.
be back. And she's probably going to be back for herself too. Because usually a lot of that is environment, and also everybody's eating the same thing. And
Right.
so other people in the family have the same issue. I have a family that just bought a 60 pack from me because they have 2 college sons, and the husband went into the pantry and he said he was in panic because he couldn't find any more Vasia detox tea. And my friend called me and said, we have an emergency. Please put
There
it
you
in
go.
order. So, so we're mixing together. This is your business. Your business is to listen to the person that is talking to you, and you don't have to be a doctor. We have so much information everywhere on these products. You can pull it straight off of Tava University. You can pull it straight off of your website. You don't even have to sign in. You go to the product, you can show them all the ingredients and you can show them the benefits. And then you don't have to call the doctor because we have stuff out there that has us talking about the products that you can show them. So, and then get them on a 3-way with someone else that has had an experience with the products, right? So that's the progression. But she sampled that little kid. Just like I sampled some teenagers through their mom, but I sampled those teenagers, and now those teenagers are like stealing their mom's flair. She thought she had plenty, but they were taken from the downstairs. They were taken from her room because they ran out in their room, and she had to order like 2 bottles when she thought she was good for another month. But anyway, so this is what we're doing. This is definitely good, and the importance is, yes, the ingredients have been put together scientifically, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and very thoughtfully, so that we get a result without making somebody totally uncomfortable. Now, you have a lot of people that don't drink water. They don't drink enough water. Some people don't even drink water. Like,
Right.
you'd be hard pressed to hear them say that they had water, like literally just water, in a day. And so those are the folks that really have issues with pain, a lot of pain, unbearable pain, because they're not adding water to fiber. Fiber is, I like to say, it's like rocks. It's rocks, and you got rocks on the inside. We're trying to make mud, and so you can't make mud just with rocks and rocks. You got to have water. Okay? You get my analogy there. I try not to get too graphic, but it's very, very important. And you should be drinking water anyway. If you're trying to be healthy, if you're working on your health, you're 70% water. How is your body made up of 70% water and you don't drink any water? Now ponder that. It's
Right.
got to circulate. Like, you got to give it something to circulate. All right. So those things come together really, really powerfully. Now, I know you take the Valley 30. And so
Yes.
tell us how that ties in the Valley, and you can tie in any of the products wherever you want to, because when you started with me, when you decided in that week that you were going to be my business partner, it took you a whole
She
week,
didn't
and
even know.
she did it on the sly. She went back in and upgraded her package. I had to ask her. I went into my back office and was like, where'd this come from? It was her. But anyway, so talk about that, because when we started, like, I'm a night owl, and I'm always going to be a night owl. But you were my night owl buddy for a little bit. I could message her at like 1 or 2, and she was awake because she wasn't sleeping well. Well, after she started taking the products, guess what? I caused my own demise because I caused my nighttime buddy to go to sleep on time. Now she's not up at that time most of the time because she is sleeping so well. So kind of tell that how that comes together, because there are a lot of people with sleep problems.
Okay. So, and forgive me if I go over, when I start talking about the products, I get excited. So, this is our bottle of Ballet 30. And in our ad, we say that it replenishes. So, when you detox regularly, you will not only get rid of the toxins and all that nasty stuff. And in my mind, I just see like a pile with like little fumes going up and, like cartoon curse words off to the top of it. All of that's going away. But the reason why the gut works is because it requires some good bacteria. Um, it requires that we have what's called probiotics. The gut actually produces, I think, between 75 and 90% of the immune system of the body. There's a lot of hormonal control that's going on in there. And you may be saying, what does that have to do with the Ballet 30? Well, this replenishes. So there we go. Once we get rid of the bad stuff, um, we have to put the good stuff, some of the good stuff back in. I mean, it doesn't get rid of all of the good stuff, but we need to put some of it back in. And I'm going just to highlight a few of the things that are so important. I'm going to start with vitamin D. You heard me talk about the hormones. Vitamin D is considered a pro-hormone. It is essential in the production of other hormones in the body. And so, for those of you who don't know what hormones are, you hear them talked about on a regular basis. Testosterone is a hormone. Estrogen is a hormone. Um, there are hormones that basically regulate everything that we do. The thyroid, thyroxine is a hormone. Hormones rule the roost, so to speak. Many people, most people, if you read the studies, who struggle with obesity and many chronic illnesses have a problem with their hormones. And so hormonal control is very, very, very important because it's the master controller. So let me just say that you get 95% of your requirement for vitamin D in one capful. That's just vitamin D. And because it's liquid, you get almost immediate uptake. Now, you have all of the B vitamins. B vitamins are necessary for energy. They just get the body going, and the B vitamins are all in here. Vitamin C, you don't actually see on the label, but we have 8 superfoods. Dark cherry juice, mango puree, blueberry juice, camel juice. I just like saying camel juice. I always say that. It's just funny to me. You have potassium, you have magnesium. Now, let's talk about magnesium for a minute. Magnesium is essentially a muscle relaxer. Okay, it's not like the prescribed muscle relaxer that's just going to put you directly to sleep. But do you know if you have a problem sleeping, you take magnesium at bedtime, it will probably help relax you enough to go to sleep. So it actually helps with joint pain. And speaking of joint pain, there's glucosamine and chondroitin in it.
My favorite, my favorite.
And that's known for joint health as well. And then Dr. Bramwell was talking about my hair, which really is ridiculous. When I go to my loctician, she always talks about, how long has it been here? Why is your hair growing so much? And so, and I get my hair trimmed because I believe that when your hair reaches a certain length, like if you're going to sit on it, you need to get it clipped a little bit, but it grows right back. So my hair does grow ridiculously, but it's not just me. We have lots of testimonies. We have men who are growing hair on their face that have never had hair on their face
never did before. Yeah.
We have so many testimonies of women who are talking about hair and nail growth. And I have my nails naturally. I'm going to tell you this brief story that's really funny to me because I never get color on my nails. But a couple of weeks ago, I decided that I was going to treat myself. And I went and I got a manicure and a pedicure. I always get my toenails done, but never my fingernails. Well, I had messed up my nails before I even left the nail shop. They fixed them one time. After that, I said, forget it. So I walked around with messed up nails at work. As I said, I'm a pediatrician. Kids will say anything to you. Because my nails grow really fast anyway, and they are all natural. And I had this kid ask me what was wrong with my fingernails because the polish was red. It was chipping off. And then his mom went on this long discourse with me about why I needed to get fake nails. I said, no, I don't need to get fake nails. I have natural nails. They grow naturally. But this kid was just so confused about what was going on with my nails. So they're natural. So we have hair and nail growth.
300% biotin.
It's the biotin. The flare, let me tell you, this has more B vitamins in it. But I think, well, there's two things that's really, really big in it that I think. But again, this is all magic. I'm pretty sure. The guarana is 4 times more potent than caffeine. but you don't get the jitteriness. As a pediatrician, I see a lot of teenagers who actually drink those sports drinks. Monster, what's the other one? I can't even remember
Red
the name.
Bull. Really? You
Red Bull.
can't remember what you used to drink every day?
I know. That's what's crazy about it, that I can't remember the name of it. I literally used to drink a Red Bull every single afternoon to get me through the afternoon. I haven't had one since I started taking these products, and I don't need it. But this is the thing. This will not cause jitteriness. It will not cause your heartbeat to really fast. I have had teenage athletes, and it's the thing now. They drink all of these supplements, but I have had football players, big strapping guys, that I have put in the hospital from drinking those energy drinks. This doesn't cause any of those side effects. So the guarana is really important. But the other thing that's really important, remember I talked about the probiotics? There are probiotics in here. It's good for the gut. It all comes around full circle. And then my absolute favorite product, just because I like it, is this CBD infused coffee. And I have a medical student who's with me now. I gave her a sample of the coffee because all medical students drink coffee except for Dr. Bramwell, and I don't know what was wrong with her.
I never did.
The rest of them do. She said, "Oh, Dr. Tolliver, that coffee was amazing." And that's because it's amazing. It's 100% Colombian coffee. It is CBD infused, which guess what? Allows you to go to sleep at night. Ta-da! It has chaga mushrooms in it. So thanks to Dr. Bramwell, I drink my coffee at night, but obviously I also drink it in the morning. I sleep well at night. I have tons of energy.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I left anything out.
Let's back up a little bit because Jennifer Wilson came on and said, I love the probiotics. So let's talk about that, because that's kind of my thing, because I just love the tie about serotonin, how serotonin is affected by all of these products in a very powerful way. So the serotonin is a chemical. We call it a neurotransmitter. Basically, it's a substance rather than an actual nerve or anything that actually goes to the nerves and gives signals, right? Well, serotonin is your happy neurotransmitter. And that's why you have so many medications out there. And please do not go and say that Dr. Nicole said now for me to get off of my medicines. I did not say that.
Or Dr. Tolliver.
Or Dr. Tolliver, for that matter. So the serotonin, though, is what those medicines are trying to address. Get your body to have more serotonin so that you get out of that depressed state, right? The CBD coffee, first of all, the CBD has been studied in reference to depression and anxiety, that it can be helpful. It can be what we call an adjunct. So add it to what you have and then work with your doctor, not these doctors, to reduce your medicine if that's something that can happen, right? Just like with Dr. Tolliver and the detox tea, she worked with her doctor, not with herself that she was a doctor, but with her doctor so that she could reduce her medicine once she started feeling better with the Vasia detox tea. So back to the serotonin. So your gut, 95% of your serotonin is produced in your gut, and it's produced by what helps it are probiotics. Why would you not take the flare? That is a hidden thing. So it's painful for me to just say that it's an energy capsule, because so much more is encompassed in that. And so the serotonin is huge. So now your gut is working better, so that when you put the flare in, and it's absorbed, because remember, the capsule is a veggie-based capsule. I think I started sharing that to test it, I said, well, I have to do something. I don't know. I keep telling people that it's well absorbed, so let me check it. So I put the capsule in some water rather than just opening up, which I usually do, open it up, pour the powder out into my Valet 30. And I put it into some water, and that thing just shrank and started to disintegrate. That's a really good sign of what will happen in your stomach, because that was water. That capsule's going into stomach acid. So that means that that's going to like break that down like simply. So the less work that your gut has to do for something, the better your body's going to be. When your gut has to spend a lot of time breaking something down, like tablet vitamins, which are bound together with all kinds of gelatin, and I don't even know some of the names that are on there. Even I can't pronounce them, and I don't even know where they come from, and I really don't want to know. But your gut spends a lot of time doing that. But anyway, your gut's better. Now it's going to receive the flare so that the probiotics can be there and do what they're supposed to do with their serotonin. You heard Dr. Cheryl talk about the magnesium. Guess what? Magnesium helps serotonin function better. It helps it get to where it's supposed to give the signal. How about, that's why everybody looks at it and they're like, why are all those Tava people like so happy? Like, why are they smiling? Why are they like, what's wrong with them? That's all fake. It's not fake, really. So yes, the bionic tonic, Mr. Gilbert, you put that stuff together. This is a system. Look at how much you could optimize your body, because these things are actually created to work together. These ingredients work together. These are things in your body that are probably out of balance, a little, a lot, medium size, largely maybe because of the type of diet that we have, the level of stress that we're under. Some of us have medical conditions and take medications that also can deplete those things. Put this good stuff in and listen for when you are talking to someone, or rather letting them talk to you, because we're so anxious. We want to tell them. We want to tell them about the Valley 30. We want to tell them what the Valley 30 has in it. We want to tell them all this whole list. We want to give them a mini, seminar. Don't give them a mini seminar. Listen to what their issue is and say, that sounds familiar. We just had a training with 2 of our doctors, and they were talking about that. But you know what? Let me get you the ingredients and send them to you. And then when are you available for a phone call? I can make sure that your questions are answered. Let me send you Dr. Nicole's 4-minute video. It's just 4 minutes. Just take a look at it, and I'm sure you'll have questions. And then let's get on the phone and get the questions answered. But if you don't talk to anybody, and if you don't listen to anybody, it won't even matter how much we could go over every single one of these ingredients. Where is my screen? Every single one of these ingredients and each one of the products, we could tell you how they work. But if you don't have the mindset that you have a gift that you're giving to people, that you have that can actually possibly help them, it won't even matter how much knowledge you have. It won't matter, right? Mr. Fleming gives a story all the time about his AT&T days. So let me go, since nobody's heard the AT&T story recently, let me tell the AT&T story. So he worked for AT&T. He was out there selling. There were people that knew more about the equipment than he did, like way more. They knew everything. They knew how the bells and whistles worked. They knew which buttons for whatever. But he was out selling them because he went out and talked to people. And then what did he do? He got one of them on the phone, and they told the people what else the phone does. He just knew that the phone worked, the phone system worked, and that they needed it. And he listened to what their need was. So that's really the short version of his story, okay? But really, 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 to do your business, yes, you should have some information. We are not giving you this information so you can go vomit it all over whoever you talk to. That is not the purpose. That's so that, no, you're not going to remember everything that we said here. Yes, you should go do the replay. Yes, you should read mindset books too. But anyway, and go listen to replays on audio. So I'll put that little mindset thing in there. But that's to cue you up. So somebody says, I'm low in vitamin D. You don't have to know everything that the vitamin D does. you know it's in here and it's in the flare. So get that in front of that person. Go on your website, pull it off, go to the product, pull up the ingredients. It's easy. Copy, paste. If you know how much copy and pasting I do around here, it's crazy. Because you want to do it quickly. You want to get that information to them while it's on their mind. Again, if you don't open your mouth, if you're not prepared when you go out, whether I have my purse, whether I have my wallet, whether I have just jeans on, my cards are going in my pocket. My husband and I go out to eat. We start talking to somebody. I may not say anything about the products. I may not say anything about the company, but guess what? It's all over my card with my name and my number. Okay. And then they look at it and they're like, oh, I was thinking about detox. Oh, cool. Just text me your number right here, right now, to this number, and I'll certainly send you a video so you can hear about those products. Because guess what? I use my video as validation too. So don't be lazy. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. This is a business, and both of us have businesses prior to doing Tava, right? We have traditional
Right.
businesses. Yes, we are entrepreneurs. Yes, we're doctors, but we're also entrepreneurs. So don't go to sleep on the doctors that are entrepreneurs that you're going to, but don't try to, I don't know, fast talk them and stuff and think that you got to pour everything all over them. They're individuals too, and they want to be healthy as well. And so approach them as an individual, and they will ask you for what they need. Then they'll know, oh, I would need this for my patients, and they'll take it to the next step. So reach out to them the same way and respect their time the same way you do anyone else's and your own. All right. So don't just try to bogart their schedule. If you have an appointment with your doctor, leave something. Don't try to extend your appointment talking about the products, okay?
Right.
Because that's the biggest way to turn a doctor off, because doctors' time is so crunched. It's incredible how many patients they see in a day. And so this is just doc telling you what I know from being a doctor and being in doctors' offices, and being a doctor in a doctor's office, that we don't like that. We don't like for people to try to absorb our time, because it puts us behind for everyone else that had an appointment. All right. So, Dr. Cheryl, I'm sure you have something, because you're working in an office like that. Like now, I stopped doing that a while ago.
Exactly. I mean, um, I always think that it's funny is that no one wants to wait when they're at a doctor's office, but they always want extra time. And that's totally understandable.
That's
Um, and I try to give people their time and get to the next person's time. But when a rep comes around, I say, leave your information. And I want you to understand this is that with Tava, you own your own business. You are basically repping your own business. Feel free to leave a sample, because I will take the time at the end of the day or when I have a few minutes to go back and look through the information. And if it's interesting to me, I'm going to look further. So it's important, I think, um, to have your website on your card so people can actually look up the information if they're interested, or at the very least have your phone number so that they can contact you about the information. And this includes your doctor, because as a doctor, I am always interested in what's new in the field. When I was in medical school, they told me um, one half of everything that you learn will be invalid in, I don't know, 5 years or something. Like, I don't know what the years are. And I can truthfully say that I look back and there's a lot that I learned in the beginning that's not considered valid anymore. So I have to continue to learn every single day. And I would say give your doctor some grace. Understand that that's a busy person. But there are a lot of us who are continuing to learn. And if there's something new out there, we want to know about it. So don't hesitate um, to leave a sample, leave information so that they can look it up at their own time. Um, but don't try to capture them in the office when they're trying to take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah, and follow up with them. So it's okay to follow up.
Right,
Leave a message. You might leave a message at the front desk. Maybe you didn't hear back in a couple of days. Guess what? Leave another message. Maybe even set up an appointment. Just tell them you just need 5 to 10 minutes to just follow up with them. Let them put it on their schedule,
right.
right? Um, Maybe treat their office staff to coffee at their lunch break and talk to the doctor and the staff then. Try to arrange that with like the practice manager or something like that. But do it in a professional way. Don't try to overrun someone and the docs, because it definitely, yeah, that's a turn off. We don't like it from the pharmaceutical reps. We've turned away many pharmaceutical reps when they do that, and they learned, drop it off or make an appointment. Okay,
Right.
so that's just advice from us. It is 11:51. Let me see. So we have about 9 minutes. Duplication is key. That's right. So you have to do, Mr. Gilbert, that's a very good point. You have to do things that the rest of your team, whoever your team member is joining you tomorrow, next month, next year, the following year, you have to do things that they would be able to do. And so you don't want to go, if you're a great talker and you know how to do that, yeah, maybe you get in with the doctor that way, but or with anyone that way for that matter, but your other person may not be able to do that. So you need to do what's duplicatable. What we're going to do, and please be patient because there's a delay in how these things come out. I know we tell you guys this all the time, but you want what you want when you want it, and it's okay. But just give me a couple of seconds for the questions to come up. But right now, what we can do is take some questions. I'm really, I'm hoping this goes well. I'm really hoping this goes well. We will take some questions for a few minutes. So go ahead and put them in the chat, or this is the comments. Thinking about Zoom. Put it in the comments, and Dr. Cheryl, if you see it before I do, then call it out. But now's your time. Let's get some questions. And then you can share this training with some people that weren't able to make it. Jade, you're welcome. You're so welcome. Glad you guys enjoyed it. Send some questions. Doctors love questions.
We do.
Some of us like questions because it lets us show off how smart we are. That's not us. We just want to answer your questions.
I have a tendency to over explain. So if I get a question, that means that I didn't spill too much.
You deal with kids though, right?
Well, I
So
deal with kids' parents.
That's the part. Okay, so that's a really good question. So I might spend a little bit on this because I want to make this clear. So it says, Janae, are the ingredients all natural? No caffeine. So they are all natural. Actually, caffeine is a natural substance. So let me just say that. I'm gonna do this. So caffeine is a natural substance. So that's kind of a double-edged sword question there that you asked. And the products are plant-based. They are natural. I know that I've heard people say that the Flare doesn't have caffeine. Listen to me carefully. The Flare has caffeine via the guarana. The guarana is from a plant leaf. And because of that, that caffeine does not create the same heart symptoms that just caffeine from like Red Bull, um, other sources, Red Bull, whatever. I don't even drink any of that stuff. Mountain Dew. I used to drink Mountain Dew when I was in medical school. That's what I drank instead of drinking coffee. Too much Mountain Dew. All right. It's ridiculous. I probably would have had something wrong with my heart if I drank the supercharged Mountain Dew that they have now. I don't forget whatever that crazy name is. I'm going to bring Dr. Tolliver back up. So that's that. Also, the coffee. The coffee does have caffeine. However, because the CBD is in there, it's really strange. The CBD then levels out that effect of the coffee. So you shouldn't be bouncing around all over the place from that. Some people do have more alertness that lasts longer than others with the coffee. But guess what? If you like ribs, right? And you love ribs, but you know that if you ate a whole rack of ribs, it didn't make you feel so good. Guess what you do? You'd eat a half a rack of ribs, right? Right? But somehow, when something will be helpful and somebody's telling you that it'll be helpful, that reasoning doesn't come in, and we're like, oh, I just can't take that. No, just do a half of it. Okay, do a half of the coffee. All right, because you will still get the benefit of the CBD, the chaga mushroom, the Garcinia cambogia, the L-theanine, all these things that are actually have really cool health benefits. All right. So you can modify that. Same with the tea. This is what Dr. Cheryl does in her office because she has little people, not little people as in little people adults, little people that have not become adults. And so she modifies how much of this they get. Now, my advice when you modify how much of this you get, it's really hard to like pour out part or whatever. So just go ahead and mix the whole thing and then drink a third, a half, whatever you do. That way you're insured more so that you get half of what's in here or whatever amount you're going to take after you've shaken it up. All right. So you can modify. And that's the other beauty about the products is that they are flexible. You can modify them, but still get great benefit. What is that make my heart? I'm gonna tell you, Janae, that probably there are a lot of things that you eat or drink that you don't even realize have caffeine in them because a lot of food providers, drink providers don't even tell you every ingredient that is in something. And there has to be a certain amount too that makes them obligated to put it in there. So you may be fooled by the fact that certain things say that they don't have caffeine in them. Because even the non-caffeinated or the decaffeinated things actually have still a small percentage of caffeine in them. And I will tell you also, Janae, that I have a lot of people that come to me that are on heart medicines, and high blood pressure medicine counts as a heart medicine because high blood pressure is a cardiac issue. It's a heart issue, okay, and a blood vessel issue. I have a lot of people on different medicines. When they have more than one page of medicine, I guarantee you at least 2 to 3 of those medicines are cardiac medicines, and they have been able to take these products without any heart issues, and that really comforts me that I don't have to worry about anybody's heart.
Dr. Bramwell, if I could say to Janae, I was actually very caffeine sensitive. And so I could not drink anything with caffeine in it. And you can tell I love coffee. But if it was after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I would not have a cup of coffee. And so, because I was one of those people who was very sensitive to caffeine, you may have heard me say that I can drink my Caprice at bedtime and sleep really well. Um, I don't advise anyone to go against their doctor's orders, but I would say this is different. Your doctor has probably never come in contact with anything just like this before. And one cup of coffee, um, if you were to try it, you could see what the effects are. Coffee has a lot of benefits to it as well, and I understand your concern about the caffeine, but this is not a regular cup of coffee. So if you
That's
don't
good.
want to try it, don't try it. But if you're interested, try it and see what effect it has on you. I promise you, if it makes you jittery, you will know right away. If it makes your heart beat really fast, you will know right away, and you will know that this is not the product from for you. But I was certainly one of those people who was just very sensitive to coffee. And so, and I especially like, I know we're running over, I
It's okay.
especially liked having a cup of coffee at the end of a good meal. So if I went out to dinner, I would want a cup of coffee so badly, but I couldn't have it. And now that I can, it just means a lot to me because I can tolerate it now. That's me. That's my story. I don't know if it will have
And
the
she
same
gets to
effect on you.
advertise that she has that coffee because she's pouring her coffee into the hot water that she told them to bring to her table.
That's correct. And
And
everybody at
then
the table say,
and
"What are
then
you drinking?"
you just leave it like on the side, right? With the name up.
I don't get to go out that
So
often anymore, but I certainly enjoy my cup of coffee.
Jeanette, whoever asked that question about the gluten free, I think all of the products are gluten free except for one. And quite honestly, I can't remember which one. That being said, what I like to say about gluten is unless you have really truly been identified as someone that's gluten sensitive, and quite honestly, I think the one that has gluten in it is a detox. So it's actually going to clear you out anyway. I could almost bet that that's actually the one. Um, you yeah, if you haven't been identified as has a seven sensitivity, I'm going to tell you it doesn't really truly have any value to you doing gluten free food. And half of what they say is gluten free actually was gluten free before they put the gluten free on the
Right.
front. Potato chips never had gluten in them ever.
But I still
Okay,
wouldn't
because
recommend them.
right, I wouldn't recommend it. But potatoes are they're not a gluten containing food. Okay, so um, so just kind of keep that in mind when you that's the example I like to use because those words get thrown around, and unfortunately when the marketing teams get hold of things, they make you think that everything can help you release unwanted weight, and that is the best thing since sliced bread. But again, here's my potato chip example. An organic potato chip is still a potato chip that you shouldn't be eating on a regular basis. Okay.
Janae, you asked a question about
Yes.
yeah, what you eat while taking the products. Eat what you eat. I mean, and of course, we recommend a healthy diet, but
Sure.
you are going to feel if you are not eating a healthy product diet while taking these products because guess what? You're going to be getting appropriate nutrition. Um, Even if you are not having the best diet out there.
I think, yep. I think that, you know, what we have seen, my husband actually um, retails these products in his office as well. He recommends them. He's a medical doctor also. And what we have seen is that when people get started on the products, they feel so much better that they actually go into making better choices. And because your body's becoming more balanced, more optimized. The your gut health is improved. You're taking in the foundational nutrients. You're putting in the probiotics. That your body actually starts asking you for different things because you don't have that bad bacteria making you want things that that are not good for you. Your gut's not out of balance and trying to search for what's missing. You're actually putting in what you need. I have very infrequently have cravings or whatever, and it's because we're putting in that foundational Valet 30, so we're getting all of those nutrients, because that's what your body's looking for when you're craving something. It's looking for something, and most of the time you don't even know what it is. So you try the potato chips and that didn't work. You try the cake and that didn't work. You tried the ice cream, that didn't work. You don't even know what you're looking for. And so when you put your body into good balance, it's less likely for you to have that. Not that you'll never have it, but it's less likely. Okay, because no cure, treatment, or diagnosis, no claims of that here. Dr. Nicole didn't say that, and Dr. Cheryl didn't say that. All right. Caprice helps me with my anxiety and carpal tunnel after being a hairdresser for 25 years. I love 1 cup a day. Awesome, Misha Green. Awesome. All right. Well, we're 6 minutes over. Let me just look back and make sure I didn't miss like a major question, because you guys really gave some really good questions. Yeah. So please take this. Tell somebody to start after the beginning, wherever they start on it, and where it's important to them on what we covered here. We covered a lot. Put this together with what Krishawn and I did last weekend. You have a lot of medical information like related to the ingredients, like what they'll do. Definitely not medical advice for specific people. They should still consult with their doctor about their conditions if they're trying to reduce their medicines or change their medicines and what have you. But I will tell you, in my weight management, with my private and my group, I've had clients reduce the medicines that they're on, the number of medicines or the milligrams of their medicine or whatever. So we have all of those changing, and we have lots of people throughout Tava that have actually gotten off medicines. And so everyone is different, but what I can tell you is if you take these products consistently, that you're actually going to feel better and you're going to be doing better, just by nature of improving what's happening in your body. All right. So thank you, Tavanation. We appreciate that. Thank you, Dr. Cheryl, for being my co-host, hanging out here with me the whole time, even extra time. I think that you enjoyed it, even though you were not really feeling it when I first said it to you, but
just a little surprised.
I know. All right, Tavanation, we love you, and we're gonna take it out. You have a great weekend. All right, and go talk to some people. Get up off your duff. Go talk to one person today. That's your only action step. Go talk to one person about Tava today that you haven't talked to about it before, and make one follow-up. All right? Call to action. Have a great day. I gotta find the song.
Come with me, with Tava, no places too far. Come with me, with Tava, no places too far to go. We can take you around the world. Catch this flight with me, with Tava, no places too far to go. New places, new faces, yeah, new zip codes. New money, NFTs and plus crypto. Only care cash no more. Digital currency on me. Overseas we back and forth. Round trips all aboard, baby. There's room at the top. We'll save a spot for you. Can't no one limit us, so you should come with me. With Tava, no places too far. Come with me. With Tava, no places too far to go.